What's up, man? So you've been following me a while. You guys remember when I bought this property, Danny and I just bought this property. We own that billboard, those storage units, this warehousing space, about, I think it's like close to 10,000 square feet. So we got this entire building here and then that building back there as well. I think all together it's about 10,000. We had this repaved because you couldn't even drive any forklifts through here. And that little building I was showing you just now that they're moving is getting turned into this. So damn near, a little house with AC. Look at that shower head. Really nice shower head, fridge. This can be an office with one of these units was the idea. So now you can rent one of these units. You'll have your own office as well. And then that'll increase the rents. That's not why I'm here. I'm here to pick up some product because this is where we store all of Tomb 45's inventory. You guys can see it's full Tomb 45 inventory and that one as well, I believe. Then we have our pick, pack, and shipping office is over here. You guys can see that turns into what I just showed you. That flips out, the other side flips out, and then they can build it out. All right, guys, this is the pick, pack, shipping office. So all the pick, pack, shipping, all that stuff comes here. We have all this organized pick, pack, and shipping desk. It's a lot of work, man, running a business like this, especially when you have a lot of different products. But we love it, and I'm excited about the future of Tomb 45, man. The 2025 is gonna be a crazy year, man. I promise you. So just got back to the crib, but I just wanted to point out a couple things, man. Business is hard. Real estate is hard, especially, I don't know about you guys, but as a barber, when I was starting out, I thought I knew about business. And I did. I knew about being self-employed. It's simple. Marketing, taxes, make sure you're accounting, your books are clean, market yourself, be professional, give a good service, and you could get to six figures that way. You'll always be dependent on yourself and your own work, and you'll never really have a quality of life where you're not having to trade time for money to be able to pay your bills. So you kind of have to balance what your expenses are like. All the time you're constantly thinking about money because you have a certain budget, and whether you want to do something or not, it is dependent on whether or not it aligns with your budget. And so if you want to get past that, still make money and have life experiences, you have to get into business. But here's one thing that I think a lot of people don't talk about, and it's partnership. I could not have done what I've done today without my partners, without my business partners, without help. That property I might visit, a dozen times a year, once a month, maybe. A big reason why is because we have a team. Danny goes out there. He did a lot of the heavy lifting in the beginning. Dre came in, made the distribution center the way it is, organized it with Danny. Then they hired people to take over the systems that they created. And I just got to keep marketing and make sure that the cash flow is coming in to be able to continue to pay the bills. But that is a real responsibility, owning that property right there. And we have more. That's one of our properties. And that's real responsibilities. You have to collect. We have over a dozen tenants on that place. So you got to make sure that lease is good. You got the bigger spaces that you're leasing out, and you got to maintain the property, make sure it looks good. And if something breaks, you got to fix it. Thank God I have a team, or I'd be miserable. But it was necessary for us to buy that building because our rents were going up at the warehouse we were renting, and it just didn't make sense to pay, $8, $9, $10,000 a month in rent for a warehouse that we didn't own when we could buy one and potentially pay less in debt service, right? Debt service is, in the commercial world, is like a mortgage, pretty much. You take on debt to purchase a property and you service the debt. What ends up happening a lot of times is if you don't have a team, then you cannot grow unless you sell some stuff and you free yourself of that consumption so that you can go and do bigger and better things. It's like Monopoly, right? You start off with a house, then you have two, then you have three, and then you go up to a hotel, and then you have a couple hotels, and then you go to nicer types of real estate where you're spending more on the land to build houses that are more expensive, to build hotels that are more expensive, but then your revenues increase. It's kind of the same thing. It's very vital if you want to play this game
If you want to get involved in real estate and business, then you have to change your mentality in that a bigger pie is better than a bigger piece. Because with a bigger pie, you have more slices that you can give out. And as the pie continues to grow, everybody's slice grows with it. And everybody's slice is necessary to complete the pie. Now, you can start with that mindset in the barbershop, even if you don't own the shop. Being an individual barber in the shop, thinking about a bigger pie. Well, what kind of marketing efforts will help you substantially, but also benefit everybody as a whole? Would adopt the same mentality. And now there's two barbers that are marketing in a way where if it's a holistic approach and it helps everybody in the shop. Even if the other barbers aren't grateful, they don't see it, they're not participating, it doesn't matter because of the experience, the wisdom, and the fact that you're becoming a person that it becomes of value to more than just yourself. That's when you can start to scale, because now people can leverage you. You're of more value to people. And so I always tell people, like, if you want to go to a suite, that's fine, but you can't build a team that way. You're not building a bigger pie that way. You're going from a big New York pizza to one of those very small personal Red Baron pizzas, is the way I see it. You know, you can't grow a Red Baron pizza, but with a New York slice, right, you can grow the whole pie. You can nurture the dough. Hopefully that's making sense. I think that mentality, if you start that now, if you can adopt that now, it will pay you. Not just you, but your loved ones, your friends, your peers, people, your community, exponentially. And honestly, society needs more people like that. We need people who are thinking about others who, I mean, you look at, I think we're in a crisis right now. We're in an economic one, affordability. Not all cities, obviously, but people can't afford to pay rent these days. People can't afford the cost of milk and gas these days. It's gotten crazy. But if more people were thinking about creating a bigger pie as a whole, man, people, like the saying says, a rising tide raises all ships. I showed you that property. That's what I was thinking about, man, as I was going through that. This is the first time I visited this location in 2 months. I'm so grateful for my team, bro. There's shit going on that property that's necessary for growth, for, you know, for progress. That property helps feed people's families. It pays people's bills. It provides people a place where they can grow their business. I'll tell you that, you're in the background of my video. Okay. But, you know, I just think of that, look at that property. I'm just so grateful for the team. And I just wanted to give that insight to you guys, that bit of wisdom, because a lot of people don't see what it takes to own something like that. It's not easy. It's not cheap. It's risky. And it doesn't pay in the short term. It's a long-term investment, but it gives so much value that's deeper than the eye can see.